Everyone, welcome to another Underrated Film Saturday. Apologize I had to delay this video up until today. I was pretty busy over the weekend, but now I should be caught up. So without further ado, for this particular Underrated Film Saturday, I thought it'd be interesting to talk about briefly the theory of everything. Now, I understand that this film was recognized initially for uh, certain things and did receive some awards when it initially came out. However, I think its um, popularity, its influence hasn't really been as strong as some other films that have come out relatively recently that seem to stay kind of in the limelight. But I thought it would be interesting to talk about this one, considering the fact that I think, again, it's sort of not as significant as it initially was when it came out. So basically, this film follows none other than the famous scientist Stephen Hawking. Um, and obviously, there might be the complaint in the fact that this film doesn't really focus on his theories as intensely, which I personally didn't find bad, to be honest. I mean, I think taking a more personal approach to the famous scientist, I think, is a whole lot better way of approaching it, especially since a lot of these theories are very difficult for people to sort of understand and really grasp around. So I think, again, it does touch upon these things that he tries to come up with as far as explanations into the universe, but it's not as in depth as maybe some other science specials that you maybe see somewhere, maybe on Nat Geo or something like that. But we basically sort of start off with Hawking's kind of being in the university, and eventually we get into his relationship with his wife named Jane Wilde. But we also get something else that I think is obviously a little bit more personal, and that's the fact that he has this disease, and it's technically called motor neuron disease. So we sort of see how initially within the film doesn't have the disease, but then once a certain point in college, once he's in a certain point in college, it just kind of hits him, and he sort of has to deal with it pretty much for the rest of his life. And you sort of see that impact and how it not only affects him, but it affects his wife and his whole struggle to ultimately find out certain things about the universe and whatnot. So it's, again, it has this sort of very personal touch to it because of this disease that he has. And overall, you get a real sense of the characters and Stephen Hawking. I think the guy that actually played him, who did win the Oscar that one year, did a really good job in displaying how Stephen Hawking's sort of acts. And I think at the end of the day, it was one of those films that I think, again, it sort of showcases to you the sort of uh, nature of kind of life and how there's certain aspects of it too that are very bright and happy and positive, and then also there's these negative and depressing undertones as well. So it offers an interesting blend and mixture of these different kinds of emotions, and I think it's done fairly effectively. And it's interesting to see a story about an actual person and hear about that person's sort of personal story, and also have it blended in with sort of certain aspects of his science that he sort of dedicated his life to. So I think that's overall the real impression behind this film. But I would be more than happy to hear what anybody else has to say. I think it's definitely one that I think needs to be, I think, further explored, and wasn't really explored all too much, in only the sense that it did get some awards and then everybody kind of forgot about it. So yeah, I think though that's really ultimately all I can say though. If there are any questions, comments, concerns, I'd be more than happy to answer them. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a pleasant day, week, month, and year, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.